Blessings and welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. Today we're in Revelation chapters 15 through 18. And tomorrow's the last read, New Year's Eve, December 31st. Depending on how you watch these, whether you get in the middle of it, this may be June for you, I don't know. But anyway, two more left. And today, very similar to the first 2 days in Revelation, a lot of story, a lot of prophecy, a lot of things going on, a lot of mystery, a lot of explanation. Um, so, starting in 15, verse 1, we get to finish with a new set of angels. The seven seals, seven trumpets, and the three woes are over. But now we get a new set of seven angels that I do not see any way, there's no indication at all that this is part of the seals, the seven seals. This seems to be something completely different. And these seven angels have seven bowls that are filled with God's wrath, and they're going to pour out these bowls on the earth, these seven plagues. And it kind of tells us that in verse 1, but then in verse 2 through 4, we just see this great worship of God, this all the singing and just wonderful worship, And then verse 5, the temple of the tabernacle of testimony, this is the temple in heaven, is opened up, and this is where the seven angels are staged, who are going to come out and bring these plagues upon the earth. And they're given the bowls we see here in verse 7. And then they go out, and we're going to just real quickly look at what each of the seven bowls do, what the seven angels do. The first angel pours his bowl out on the people who have the mark of the beast. And these people are going to come down with sores, and it's going to be miserable for a long time. Second angel pours his bowl into the sea. And earlier we had seen where there was wrath of God, that was one of the seals that was opened up on the seas, or the trumpets were blown on the seas, and a third of all the sea creatures died, a third of the ships sank. Well, with this second bowl of wrath, everything in the seas and the oceans die. All the fish, everything dies. Then the third angel goes from, now the second angel is just in the waters. The third angel is he goes to all the waters on land mass, and all the countries, and continents. It's going to go to the rivers and the lakes and every place where there's water on land, fresh water. And he's going to do the same thing. He's going to pour his bowl out onto these waters. The fourth angel, and something so cool and interesting that I have never recognized in reading Revelation. I've read the whole book probably 20 times and never stopped to see this, recognize this, and just think about it. But in 16:15 it says, there is an angel of the waters. And this angel speaks out and says, God, you are just in your judgments. And I just wonder what this angel does that is over the waters. Um, is it the angel over the sea creatures, and it makes sure that everything runs smoothly in the oceans and the seas? I don't know, but it's pretty cool that there is this angel, and I'd love to know more about it. Maybe when I get to heaven I can ask that. And then the fourth angel pours the bowl of wrath out on the sun, which makes the sun become so hot that getting outside in direct sunlight can burn a human to death. Uh, One heck of a plague. The fifth angel pours his bowl of wrath out on to the beast himself, the throne of the beast, and the world and all the people that follow the beast fall into darkness and pain. And it says there will be gnashing of teeth. Um, that description of pain is also found when people go to hell. There will be gnashing of teeth. So it's pretty descriptive. And then in 1612, we see the sixth angel goes and pours its bowl of wrath out on the great river Euphrates. Now, we know that the rivers have already turned to blood, so why would another bowl be needed to be poured out on a river? Well, this bowl dries that river up, and apparently it is a great river, deep and wide, but it dries it up so that the armies of the east can cross through it, because the Battle of Armageddon is coming. In 1613, we see the dragon, who is Satan. We see the beast, who I believe is Antichrist, and we see the false prophet. All three of these come, an unclean spirit comes out of all three of them. So there's going to be three unclean spirits, and it says they are like frogs. I don't know what that means. You could speculate all day long on that. You know, frog can go in the water and on land. You know, there's a lot of prophecy about in the waters and in the just anyway. The spirit, unclean spirits like frogs, and they're able to convince men to follow. And I don't, man, we've seen so much. You wonder if there would be anybody left that hadn't started following Antichrist yet. 1616 is Armageddon. The battle, 1617, the seventh angel comes and pours its bowl of wrath out upon the air, and God's voice, or a voice from heaven, says, "It is done." And man, when that happens, there's the greatest earthquake, it says, since mankind was on the earth. It levels mountains. It brings everything on level ground around the entire earth. Um, just unbelievable. Cities are destroyed. Jerusalem looks like it's split into three different parts. And then, if that's not bad enough, there's 100-pound hailstones that fall from the sky. And men throughout this curse and blaspheme God instead of turning to Him and repenting. Their pride is so great that they just curse God. And then chapter 17 takes a completely different, I mean, it's almost like we're done with the angels and the plagues and the seals and the woes and the trumpets. And it goes into this explanation of who this woman is, who is, I mean, it talks about her immorality, sexuality, and all the things that go on with that. And it is very interesting. A lot of things in there that you can look at and go, you can kind of assume that they fit into our current culture. It's really an interesting chapter, and that's 17 and 18. Um, but anyway, that was today's read. Tomorrow we finish up, and we're in Revelation 19 through 22. So I'm really looking forward to it, to see what we get out of that. I hope to see you back here tomorrow, and in the meantime, you guys be safe.